And welcome everyone to another presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. Now a chance to check out tonight's starting lineups. Walker with it. Pass to Mourning. Here's Jones. That is good. And Miami has possession. And here is Hardaway. Wade with it. Back to Hardaway. Stepped in the line, out of bounds there, and that will cost them the possession. On defense, Miami. Here's Walker. Back to Mourning. Pass to Walker. And here's Jones. A three-pointer is right on target. 5 points in the game.
It's got to be nice for them to know that game in and game out, his offense is going to be there for him.
LeBron outside. O'Neal. And he comes off the screen and slams it through. Now here's Walker. Pass to Jones. Now Mourning. Rice. Here's Rice. Boom, he jams it straight down. And here in the first, closing in on 2 minutes play. Now here's Wade. Back to Hardaway. Pass to Mourning. LeBron outside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. LeBron right side. The 19-footer is on the money. Now Walker. The finger roll finish at the bucket.
4 straight makes out of the gate. That's a sweet start.
And just under 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the first. Wade outside. Pass to O'Neal. Now LeBron. Off his foot. And they're saying he kicked the ball. Here's Hardaway. And stolen by Mourning.
Great reflexes to get a hand on that pass and go the other way with it.
On the basket by Jones.
5 of 5 to start the game, and it might be the second quarter before they miss the way they're knocking these shots down. Boy, everything's pure.
Good.
Not trying to rattle any rims or racks there. Just up and in with the finger roll.
Now here's Walker. There's the pick. Pass to Johnson. Back to Mourning. Jones with it. Poke loose. 6 to shoot. Stolen by Wade. Can't convert the two-handed jam.
Great dunkers should not blow wide open opportunities like those. I'm embarrassed for you.
Here's Jones. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. He's got 9.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it.
Now here's LeBron. Outside Hardaway. Back to LeBron. Pass to O'Neal. From 10 feet out. And he gets it to go.
You know, with that much of a height advantage, that's exactly what you should do. Take it straight to the rim.
Now here's Johnson. Here's Walker. And here is Mourning. 11 feet away. And that's good off the glass that time.
Wow, what a game for them so far. Very impressive. They haven't missed yet.
Here's Hardaway. LeBron. Now Walker. Rice. Backing him down is Johnson. Kicks it out to Jones. And it's LeBron James with the rebound.
I tell you what, folks. I bet he won't miss that shot next time he takes it.
Now here's Walker.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
No good on the three. Outside, Walker. Pass to Mourning. O'Neal's there. From 8. And Shaq sends it back. LeBron with it. Wade left side. Outside Hardaway. That one rolling around and rims out.
Fadeaway was the right shot there because it got his attempt away from the defender, but the touch was poor.
Rice. Pass to Mourning. The 10-footer. It's hauled in by the Heat. And here is Hardaway. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Now here's Jones. James. Here's Mourning. LeBron outside. Pass to O'Neal. Out to Wade. Guarded by Walker. Outside Hardaway. And again, it's the Heat missing. Rice. Eddie Jones on the wing. Now here's Walker. Mourning with it. And it's blocked.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
Pass to Mourning. Outside Hardaway. Here's Wade. Shot clock at 6. Larry Johnson grabs the miss. Here's Walker. And it's out of bounds. The Heat will take it the other way.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. Terrible turnover.
And the Heat going with the whole new group on the floor. And the Heat call time here. Miami trailer. Now here's Hardaway. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Rice. It's hauled in by Bryant.
That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
Now Bogues. Curry buries the long-range jumper.
They've worked hard and created great chances for themselves in this opening quarter.
Hardaway with it. Pass to Jones. Back to Hardaway. There's a screen. Here's Jones. Back to Jones. Hardaway. And stolen by Wallace. Wallace left side. Now here's Bogues. With the lead pass. Now here's Brown. Goes to the reverse layup and claps it in.
Their defense just hasn't been able to slow them down.
LeBron outside. Here is Whiteside. Brown's there. Takes the 13-footer. Shot denied.
Tell you what, they haven't wasted any time getting into the swing of things on the board.
Here's Curry. Pass to Wallace. And here is Curry. 4 on the clock. Wallace outside. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires. And here's Miami. Down by 12. Outside Hardaway. Now Jones. Knocks it loose. And here's the break. Here's Curry. And there's the lay-in. He's got 5.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
LeBron outside to stop the run. Oh, and there's the one-handed jam. Here's Bowes. Inside, Brown can't get it to go. And here is LeBron. He has 6. LeBron left side. Here is Whiteside. Here is Whiteside. From the stripe. The shot will not go. Now here's Wallace. Pass to Curry. Left side Curry. And here's Bowes. 5 to shoot. Takes a shot at the elbow. Good on the jump shot. Now LeBron. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
They got to find something, you're right. Hardaway with it. And Hardaway gets it to go.
He's trying to get it going offensively, but right now just 1 of 4 to start.
Here's Bowes. Pass to Wallace. Expanding his range. Now here's Jones. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Back to LeBron. From deep. And that concludes the first quarter of play. The Bobcats up by 9. And we'll be back in just a moment with the... Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And here's Smith. Dragic with it. Right side, Dragic. Pass to Smith. 5 on the clock. Hits the three-point bomb.
A wide open 3. They need much better communication defensively.
Here's Davis. Lots of room. And the shot is good.
Great job of utilizing that screen and finding space to knock down the jumper. Good basketball.
Now Dragic. Rice unloads. There's the block. Wallace right side. Wallace right side. Pass to Davis. And here in the second with about a minute and a half gone by. Outside Dragic. Cycling. He drains the turnaround jump shot.
Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Not if it results in that shot.
There's a good screen. Back to Wallace. Off target from outside. Here's Brown. Miami trailing. Second quarter of play with around 2 minutes gone so far. Smith, no up.
Unnecessary to go to the fadeaway there. It wasn't needed. Could have just kept it simple and taken the easy shot.
Pass to Davis. Here's Gill. Puts it up. Drains the 19-footer. Now Smith. We're just over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Now Dragic. Back to Smith. Outside, Davis. Left side, Davis. Brown. Pass to Gill. Now Davis. And Davis gets it to go. He's got 5.
D there, guys, was pretty much non-existent. I mean, you can't leave a good shooter like that open.
Timeout called the Heat. And the Heat making a change here. Wade outside. Pass to Mourning. Back to Wade. Tries to keep it alive. No good with the layup.
You know, they're not totally dominating the glass, but they're definitely doing enough to keep this lead right where it is.
Closing in on 4 minutes play here in the second quarter. Dragic with it. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Cycling. Lets it go from the baseline and nails it. Here's Davis. There's the pick. Johnson outside. Back to Davis. Right side Davis. Clock at 6. Launches a 3. Shot is off. And here's Wade. Wade left side. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful.
Even with the D lurking, he made it look easy with the soft finger roll.
Now Davis. He has 5. Pass to Gill. Now here is Davis. Misses the 3. Here's Dragic. Now here's Wade. Wade outside. Outside Dragic. And here's Smith. Shoots the 3. Gill with the rebound. Pass to Davis. Here's Johnson. Davis with it. And out of bounds as the Heat gain possession.
Well, they couldn't hook up there on what's really a pretty basic pass.
And the Heat making a change here. And here we go with Goran Dragic. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Smooth as silk on the finger roll.
The screenplay worked ideally there, and I'm not talking about the screenplay you see in a movie theater. Gave him more than enough room to get that shot off.
Pass to Walker. 6 on the shot clock. To end the drought. Right side to Walker. On offense, here are the Heat. 7-point differential. Mourning with it. Wade outside. Outside Dragic. Now O'Neal. Back to Dragic. Pass to Wade. The three. It's hauled in by Larry Johnson. Now here's Jones. He's got 9. Here's Rice. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. 5 points in the game.
That's true. And this spectacular shot block is something else to look for, especially recovering on the break. He can run you down and send it away in a heartbeat.
And he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim.
Boy, after struggling in the first quarter, he's come alive here in the second.
Pass to Mourning. They set the screen. They get a hand on it. Stolen by O'Neal. Smith inside. Wade with it. Outside Dragic. Mourning with it. Wade outside. Shot clock at 6. And he banks in the layup. He's got 6.
Not much the defense can do once he gets to the bucket.
Now here's Jones. Back to Mourning. Pass to Walker. A second chance effort. And Mourning with the real nice bucket inside.
Well, it's obvious the difference in this quarter has been their dominance on the offensive boards.
Here's Wade. Here's O'Neal. Back to Wade. And stolen by Mourning. Right side to Walker. Pass to Mourning. Down low. Reverses. And there's the nice layup by Johnson.
The D was all over him, but they just couldn't react in time to stop that quick reverse.
Now here's Wade. He's got 6. Smith left side. That falls. Nice feed that time from Dwayne Wade. He's got 7.
He is really having a good quarter, a strong quarter, an efficient quarter, doing a lot of positive things out there.
The Heat making a switch here. Outside, Walker. Pass to Johnson. And Shaq sends it back. Now Wade. And he's going up for the alley-oop. And Shaq with the slam. Here's Walker. Johnson with it. To the middle. Ball's knocked loose. Stolen by O'Neal. Pass to Hardaway. Here's LeBron. Shot is blocked. And here's Walker. Walker with it. Here's Rice. On the 3 off target. They set the pick. Wade outside. It's blocked. Eddie Jones on the wing. Pass to Johnson. Rejected by LeBron. Miami trailing. Now here's Hardaway. He lobs it up. O'Neal. Back to Mourning. Pass to Walker. Eddie Jones on the wing. And he can't stop this drought. Another miss.
He hit a 3 in the first, but so far has been unable to capitalize here in this quarter.
And he gets it to go. He's got 11.
You know, usually teams go on runs and it comes from a lot of layups and dunks, but that's not the case here.
Johnson outside. no luck. Now here's LeBron. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. That's tipped, but they'll get another chance. Pass to Hardaway. Nailed from three-point land.
Obviously, they're evenly matched teams on the inside. The rebound numbers are very even.
Outside, Walker. Nice jump shot from the top of the key. And we're through the first half of basketball here in what's been a good one. Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. What can you say, LeBron James? What an impressive effort today. Shaq with the screen. LeBron outside. Pass to Hardaway. Wade outside. Clock at 6. Tries from 10. Here's O'Neal, and they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation.
You know, sometimes the intensity of the game can lead to brain-neutral plays like that, guys.
Here's Walker. Eddie Jones on the wing. Pass to Mourning. Shot's good. 6 points for him. And here are the Heat now. They trail by 3. Now Wade. Now Mourning. And here is Mourning. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. O'Neal inside. They get it again. Here's Mourning. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. This is his first free throw of the game. Free throw good for Mourning. And both free throws good for Mourning. And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. Now here's Walker. Now here's Jones. He's got 9. Pass to Mourning. And it's good off the back of the rim and in. He's got 8.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Wade outside. Outside Hardaway. Here's Mourning. A reverse. And he sinks the layup.
Some guys will try to overpower you at the rim, but he likes to elude you and trick you. He's got quickness and a soft touch.
Outside, Walker. Jones with it. Mourning backing down. And Shaq sends it back. Here's Wade. He's got 6. Pass to O'Neal. Back to Wade. Hardaway with it. Wade outside. Shaq with the screen. Just 5 on the clock. For the lead, Wade with it, and he gets the jumper to drop. He's got 8. And here's Walker. There's the screen. Pass to Mourning. Ice. Now here's Jones. Back to Johnson. Johnson right side. Outside, Walker. Good on the triple. And Miami has possession. A 2-point game. Wade outside. Third quarter of basketball here in just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. Now here's LeBron. Walker with it. He's got 7. Pass to Mourning. Kicks it out to Jones. Rice. 6 to shoot. For Jones. He's got 9. From deep. But they recover it. Johnson down low. Tries again. And that one's good. Hardaway with it. He's got 5. Pass to Wade. Wade, right side. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
And he's also one of those guys who just seems to be able to take it up a few notches when there's a game to be won late in the fourth quarter. In other words, he's at his best at winning time.
And here's Jones. Right side to Walker. Right side to Walker. Right side to Walker. Shot clock at 6. Here's Rice. Kept alive. Pass to Brown. And down it goes. Jamming that one home. Miami trailing. Outside Hardaway. Now Wade. They set the pick. Back to Mourning. Backs in. Wade. Up again. Great positioning on the putback. He's got 6.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Pass to Brown. 13 feet away. And he recovers it. And the shot is good.
I really think that's the area they want to work the ball into, and it takes passing like that to get it done.
On the wings, Wayne Wade. Here's Wade. The finger roll finish at the bucket.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
And here's Walker. He's got 7. Johnson. Tries from 16. And that goes out of bounds. And a new group in for the Heat. Left side Curry. Just 5 to shoot. Gill. And the powerful one-handed slam. And Miami has possession. They trail by 1. Outside Hardaway. Cycling. From deep. Outside Hardaway. And again, Miami with the triple.
His eyes were wide open there, guys. Excellent vision to see they had an open shot outside and get it there.
Back to Curry. Pass to Wallace. Here's Gill. They set the pick. Back to Wallace. Tries a 3. That one goes. Count. He's got 5. Here's Jones. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Here is Whiteside. Outside Hardaway. Jones with it. This one for three. And no one able to grab it as it goes out of bounds. Now, here's Bogues. Pass to Gill. Back to Bogues. Curry. And the ball ends up out of bounds. On defense, Miami. It's a one-point game. Here's Hardaway. He's got 8. Here's Jones. It's good from long range. Now, here's Bogues. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
That's a good shot for him there, but it's kind of puzzling to me that he's not calling for the ball today like he usually does. He has to do more if they're going to pull ahead.
Here is Whiteside. Pass to Jones. Here's Rice. From outside, off the mark.
Well, that defense went from poor to no defense at all.
18 feet out. Curry can't get it to go. Hardaway with it. Again, the Heat, good for 2. Here comes Muggsy Bogues. Here's the screen. Leads him in there. Coleman. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed.
I like the fact that he led his teammate right to the ideal spot. You don't always throw it to your teammate. You throw it to where he needs to be.
Outside Hardaway. Six on the shot clock. Here's Rice. Gets the three-pointer to fall.
They're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results right now.
Now Bogues. Pass to Curry. Here's Gill. Back to Curry. And here's Bogues. The tray. And that one's good. He's got 5.
You might not think of him as a laser three-point shooter, but that shot was there for him, and he had to take it.
Timeout called the Heat. The Heat making a switch here. Pass to Jones. Cycling. Rebounded by Wallace.
All the defender had to do there was just stay close to him, and he did.
Left side Curry. Back to Wallace. Now Bogues. Outside for Curry. Drills the three-pointer. 8 points for him.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
Here's Dragic. Here's Brown.
That's his first personal foul.
It's his first trip to the line. No good on that one. And he sinks the second. Here's Bogues. He has 5. Outside Curry. Pass to Mourning. Browns there. Back to Mourning. Outside Curry. Bogues. Shot clock at 5. And Del Curry gets the 3. He's got 11.
Great outside shooting fueling this run.
Jones with it. Bogues defending. Here's Rice. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own.
The easiest way to do it sometimes is with the bounce pass.
And here's Bogues. Back to Mourning. And he uses the glass on the layup.
He's flipped the script here in this half, shooting a much higher percentage from the field.
Now here's Dragic. Outside Dragic. Here's the 3. What a play! Simply drains it in at the buzzer. And we just finished the third quarter, and we've got a tight ball game here. The Bobcats leading by just 1. And we're coming right back. All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good. Here's Davis. Pass to Bogues. Back to Davis. No good on the triple.
Boy, that's a surprising miss right there. He usually feasts on those wide-open opportunities.
Ice. Jones with it. Clock at 6. Cycling. Lonzo Mourning grabs the miss.
From the start, seemed like they were out of sync. They waited too long to get into their action.
Here's Davis. Wallace left side. Wallace left side. Back to Davis. Left side Davis. Sinks the three-pointer. We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. Smith outside. Pass to Jones. The 3. And Curry pulls it down. Now here's Bogues. Shot clock at 6. And he wills that one in. Sinking right through off the back iron. Miami trailing. Last quarter of play, about 2 minutes in now. Knocked loose. Smith outside. And he's good on the 3-ball.
Boy, I tell you what, he loves getting looks like that from the three-point line. No one near him. That's a warm-up jumper for him.
Outside Curry. Pass to Mourning. Back to Curry. Outside Davis. Now here's Bogues. Now here's Bogues. Baseline drive. That's good. And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. Here's Jones. Bogues defending. Left side, Brown. 4 on the shot clock. And that is good. Clark, plenty of drama in this one so far.
And I would not be surprised if it goes right down to the buzzer.
Outside to Bogues. Back to Davis. Pass to Mourning. Off the left rim and out.
They really depend on him to convert those chances. A lot of times, even with solid D draped on him, they expect him to make it.
Smith outside. Now Jones. 6 on the shot clock. Cycling. To take the lead. Now here's Jones. And the Heat, another 3. And here is Davis. Pass to Curry. Soft touch off the glass. Now Jones. Cycling. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. Here's Davis. Pass to Bogues. Now here is Mourning. Outside, Davis. Wallace outside. Here's Curry. 6 to shoot. Davis. For 3. They get the rebound. Now Brown. Smith with it. Brown outside. Back to Jones. Offensive rebound Heat. Second shot opportunity. And it's Brown missing. Not wasting any time and taking the shot and knocking it down.
You know, something else with him, you can't forget about his skill as a pull-up shooter. I mean, you give him too much room and he won't hesitate for a second to raise up and spray you with that jet.
Wallace. And here's Jones. Smith outside. Pass to Jones. Clock at 6. Oh, trying for it.
Well, he just didn't make the catch, didn't look the ball into his hands. He must have thought the ball was going somewhere else.
And a new group in for the Heat. Pass to Mourning. Walker. Back to Mourning. Walker with it. From the arc. Outside, Walker. And the shot is good.
They stepped up their three-point shooting game in the second half. They're letting it fly out there with reckless abandon.
And here's Wade. Wade can't hit. And here's Walker. Eddie Jones on the wing. Makes no mistake on the open jump shot. They got on this roll a while ago, and they just haven't looked back. Now here's Hardaway. Wade outside. Pass to Hardaway. Back to Wade. Now LeBron. And he gets the bucket. Mourning with it. And Shaq sends it back. Here's Wade. And here is Hardaway. That falls. Nice feed that time from Dwayne Wade. Walker with it. Here's Rice. Buries it from three-point range. On offense, here are the Heat. They trail by 3. They set the screen. No coverage that time. And so here's the home team. They've led by as many as 14 points. Now Walker. Right side to Walker. 6 on the shot clock. And the layup falls. And it's the Heat with the ball. Hardaway with it. Back to LeBron. Smooth as silk on the finger roll.
Boy, I tell you what, he's having one of those days where if he takes it, he makes it.
And here's Jones. Pass to Walker. Jones. And he slams it one-handed. Here's Wade. Now Hardaway. Shot by post. Lonzo Mourning grabs the miss. Pass to Walker. Now here's Jones. Now Johnson. O'Neal's there. Johnson inside. And that one's good.
That's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle much more effectively.
Timeout called, the Heat.
Well, you got to put a body on your man when the shot goes up. That's just fundamental basketball. They're giving up way too many offensive rebounds.
Address his team.
Wade outside. Pass to Mourning. Here's LeBron. Just 5 to shoot. James in the post. LeBron James again. He's got 20.
Well, he certainly isn't the one to blame for them being in the hole. He's been on the money with his game.
To Walker. Beyond the arc. And it's Miami with the rebound. Wade with it. O'Neal with it. Now here's LeBron. He couldn't stay in bounds, and that's going to be a turnover.
Got sloppy. In a close game, you have to take advantage of every opportunity.
Hardaway with the steal. Count it in the foul. Larry Johnson picks one up.
Drop back the finger roll. That's a nice finesse move to pull off with the defense all over.
And it's tied up with that one.
He's really the guy you want on the stripe in that situation. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He's clutch.
Outside, Walker. Johnson up top. Now here's LeBron. Pass to Mourning. Back to LeBron. Mourning backing down. Again, the Heat, good for 2. Here's Walker. Now Jones. And here's Johnson.
Well, he's having a great half here. Exactly the opposite of the first.
And Miami has possession. A 2-point game. There's a good screen. LeBron with it. Tipped away. Warning with it. Hit his foot. And the ref saying he kicked it. Pass to LeBron. Fires the 3. The rebound by Larry Johnson. Outside, Walker. Back to Johnson. Puts up the baby hook. Timeout called, the Heat. What do you think, guys? LeBron outside. Yes! And that shot brings them to within just one.
You know, on defense, even on an inbounds play, you can't lose three-point shooters alone on the perimeter. They paid for it there.
Now, here's Morton, and he commits the intentional foul. He doesn't hit the first, and that was the one they really wanted. He's got one more, though. He's able to hit the second one, and that timeout called the Heat. Guys, your thoughts? Here's Wade. Wade, right side. Yes! Regulation is ended and we're heading to overtime. And don't go away. We'll be back momentarily. Well, if you love great competition and neck-and-neck basketball action, this one has been a great one. Overtime number one. Getting going right now. There's a screen. Here's O'Neal. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
Give an assist there, not for the pass, but for the solid screen set on the inside that freed him up and made the layup possible.
That's good from O'Neal. Walker with it. Pass to Morning. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Here's Wade. Throws it up high. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. Now Walker fires the three. It's hauled in by Alonzo Mourning. LeBron with it. And he converts the layup. 25 points in the game.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Now Jones. Pass to Mourning. Rice. Up top Walker. Wide open look. It goes straight through with the switch. We play just over a minute here in OT. And here is Hardaway. Laid outside. Here's Hardaway. LeBron outside. 5 on the clock. Ball stolen. And it's blocked. A stupendous finish in traffic. 27 points for him. Here's Walker. Around 2 minutes into overtime now. It's been a good one. Hardaway, no good.
Well, he won't miss many of those, especially with the defender not in the best of positions there.
Ice. Jones. The follow-up jam. Now here's LeBron. Backing in. We're just over 2.5 minutes into overtime in this exciting game. Johnson outside. Pass to Mourning. Mourning's there. Rice. Shot clock at 6. Here's Rice. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. The Heat with the lead. We're now about 3 minutes into this overtime period. Here's the lob to the hoop. Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop. Here's Jones. Back to Wade. Pass to LeBron. Out to Wade. Just 5 on the clock. Inside to Shaq. Now Walker. Looking at the clock, just over 3.5 minutes into OT. Eddie Jones on the wing.
You know, even though he's bite-sized compared to the big man on the floor, he's done some really tall work on the board.
Pass to Hardaway. O'Neal. An emphatic alley-oop jam. Here's Walker. Now Jones. Now Jones. 6 on the shot clock. And that goes out of bounds. Two on the clock. Here's Walker. And it's Shaq with the rebound. Now here's Wade. And so they foul intentionally. Outside Hardaway. Now here's Wade. Back to Hardaway. Oh, and there's the alley-oop. And Shaq with the slam. Seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Right side to Walker. Pass to Jones. Stolen by Wade.
This definitely wasn't the way they envisioned overtime working out.
And so it's Miami. LeBron James.